Immortality. I have often wondered about the word immortality and human beings' efforts towards becoming immortal. Whilst we are some way away from achieving that, we continue to strive towards it. We try to leave legacies through our actions, through money, through building structures, sometimes through acts of cruelty too. We strive to another form of immortality through religion, by a belief in heaven, belief in an afterlife, the soul, trying to find an unchanging aspect of the self. Immortal, the word, signifies not mortal, that is, never decaying or dying. The word can also stand for a member of the French Academy or an ancient Persian royal bodyguard. Today, I was reminded of a person who has become immortal in a different sense. Henrietta Lacks, born on August 1st, 1920, in Virginia, in the US, lives today in the millions of cells used in laboratories around the world to test treatments and to develop vaccines and study disease. She gave the world its first cell line called the HeLa cells. These cells are named after the first two letters of her name, Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta went into Johns Hopkins Hospital, an African American young mother of 5, with a complaint of vaginal bleeding. She was found to have a cancer of the cervix of the uterus. A biopsy of the tumor was taken and sent to Dr. George Gray's tissue lab. He was a researcher in cancer and viral disease. He was able to develop a technique to grow these cells by helping them to divide. To his delight, and to the luck of the rest of the world, these cells survived, unlike the other cell lines that he had tried to develop. Henrietta Lacks sadly died not long after, in 1951, at the age of 31. Her cells have grown, multiplied, and were sent to different laboratories across the world. Jonas Salk used them to develop the polio vaccine. The cells helped to research into cancer, vaccines, AIDS, and even COVID vaccines. To date, approximately 50 million tons of HeLa cells have been developed across the world. So Henrietta Lacks is truly immortal. A question one could ask is whether we would term this as Henrietta's legacy rather than a question of immortality. A legacy is something that is an object, property, value, idea, or custom that is passed on. In that sense, this is Henrietta's legacy, something passed on even if without consent. Terming it as a legacy might also soften the harshness of the way the cells were used without consent or compensation, not unusual for the 1950s. Henrietta did receive good treatment free of charge, I understand. Yet I believe immortality is a word better suited to the HeLa cells. They contain a part of life that was once a person called Henrietta Lacks. A person every individual in this world is indebted to in many ways, and every scientist is too. Yesterday, her family finally received a settlement for the use of her cells without consent. A book was written about her life, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, by Rebecca Skloot in 2010. A movie was made based on the book with the same title. Oprah Winfrey played Henrietta's daughter in the film. I've also given a link to a Johns Hopkins video titled Henrietta Lacks, Her Impact and Our Outreach.